Welcome to St. Augustine this evening, the Mike Davis Show, where we have everything working to perfection. No mistakes, no issues, no nothing. And we are here today for a really rather uncommon birthday.
Yes.
So we have an uncommon birthday today we're going to get to. We got an amazing producer who is handling all kinds of things for us right now, including juggling. I don't know how he's juggling and working all the buttons with his feet, but he's doing an amazing job. On one leg while pedaling a unicycle with the other. Yes. It is amazing.
Balancing a rocking chair on his forehead.
Yes, but we are so glad to have Clay in here with us today. We had a guest that was all ready to roll. I think you're on, Clay. You're on, buddy.
Hello?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, you're good. We are here.
You're going to do the read. I'm going to shut the door.
You're going to do the read. I'm going to shut the door. Okay, that one. Okay, Bozard Ford, Lincoln, and St. Augustine. Their goal is to make sure your time and experience buying a new or used car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949, and Bozard Ford Lincoln has been the recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked the #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford has won back-to-back President Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out online or at bozardford.com, or go out there in person and see Bo Letty and all the amazing staff. And stop by Ford's Garage. There's some burger there that's supposed to be hot, cool, amazing, and I can't remember the name of it. What's the name of it?
Jiffy!
That thing, the Jiffy Burger.
Go light on the peanut butter. Sometimes, because I got the beard, they kind of overdo the peanut butter and it gets a little out of control. Go light on the peanut butter and the flavor is amazing.
I'm now no longer hungry. The image of the beard and peanut butter did it for me.
Yeah.
A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing. They've been serving St. Johns County for over 20 years. They offer free estimates. They have painted metal roofs for saltwater area homes with warranties up to 25 years. They also offer shingle roofs with warranties up to 50 years. A to Z also installs tile roofing, cedar shake shingles, and designer roofing and flat roof coverings. You can go to their website, A2Zroofingandwaterproofing.com. You can look at all kinds of pictures of the recent jobs with material descriptions, or better yet, just call Chuck McCone, 904-669-8037. Chuck and his staff are amazing. Great roofers, great guy, great local company, and a longtime sponsor of this show. And today is June the 26th. It is Greek Landing Day.
Okay.
Where did the Greeks land today? You're the history guy. Don't look at me like you don't
Greeks
know.
Land today?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you this. It's the day that they passed, and this was a very uncommon ground show. It's the day that they passed same-sex marriage. Through it was in 2015. We did a show that day.
Okay.
I remember we did an Uncommon Ground show that day.
Today's the day.
Yeah, today's that day.
Today's the day that all people that are same sex that never wanted to get married and hope that they never change the law have to look at their partner and go, "Dang it! Now I got to do it."
Oh,
yes.
What happened?
I don't know. Yeah.
So where did the Greeks land?
I don't know. It just says Greek Landing Day. Jackie did not give enough information. It just says Greek Landing Day. I'm assuming it's the Greeks landed here in St. Augustine.
Okay.
I am assuming that's the day.
Nah.
Because it's the St. Augustine calendar. Jackie Hurd made it, and I'm assuming that's the day. Isn't that a great picture?
Yeah. What is that? Is that it?
That's an awesome picture. That is
Salt Run? Is that where it's?
No, that's from behind my neighborhood.
I was going to say, is that
from Old Quarry, looking back across the marsh.
Okay.
Probably somewhere near where our former Mary lived.
Share with the chat.
Oh, share with the chat. I got to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No, just like hold it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Share with. I was.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I thought I was working with Davey. Share with the chat. Give us the chat. All right. I had a guest today. Levi Moore was supposed to be in. Levi got sick.
Okay.
We're wishing him all the best. Amanda's on vacation. Clay is serving his second of 3 detentions this week. Yes. The principal told him he had to come for detention every afternoon from 5 to 6 p.m. So, Clay, what did you do wrong?
Ooh.
I don't know, man.
The principal, Amanda?
Yes.
I guess I did.
Oh, anytime a principal has 3 A's in her name, you've got to be careful.
You're in deep trouble.
Yeah. That's a lot of A's.
I paid the check too late.
Yeah.
And worked as a dolphin trainer. That's the biggest red flag you can get.
Yeah.
I think
Dolphin
she's slowly training me. this whole time.
Yes, crazy dates. Dolphin Trainer is one of the bingo card guesses.
The question is, what do you
Okay.
have to give to Troy to get him to come in today on his birthday?
Yeah, it's decades of friendship. So we kind of have
Yeah.
this unwritten rule, like if you ask, that means you really need help.
Yep.
So we just kind of know that you have to do that.
That's
so
some good friends right there.
that's we don't question it. You know that meme where it says, we're gonna hurt somebody and you don't ask any questions, and the other guy goes, "Whose car are we gonna take?" That's the kind of friendship we have.
Yes.
So
So you see that the meme with The Rock and Kevin Hart?
Mhm.
Are you in? Well, what are we doing? No, you're just supposed to say yes, I'm in.
yes.
We gave up a long time ago on
Yeah.
asking what's next. It's just like, yeah, I'll be there. Just
Yeah.
tell me what you need. I'm there. Yeah. You need me where and when? What am I? You didn't ask what we're doing. I don't really care. I'll just be there. Just tell me from there.
He said, what do you got going tonight? And I said, well, we're doing dinner at 6. And he goes, oh, I was like, what's going on? And that's when he asked. I was like, I'm doing dinner at 6:30.
That's it. That's how it works, Clay. If you have a friend like that, you're very, very lucky.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
but we've only been friends for like 35 years. So
That's all it takes.
yeah. So
Yeah, I
what's,
don't know.
what's the rule? If you're friends for more than 7 years, you're supposed to be friends for life. So
I didn't know that was part of the.
But, I mean-
jeez, I got to think of some of the friends that are at 6.5 years right now and whether I want to call
cut
them
them off.
back.
Cut them off.
They're getting awful close to being cut out.
Cut them off before it gets too costly.
Oh my gosh.
But I mean, you and I both have friends that we've had. I mean, you've had friends since childhood. I
Yes.
mean, and birthdays are actually, people ask like, what's the best part of your birthday? And it's actually catching up with old friends.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I really think you said that wrong. You said friends since childhood. I think it should be, as children, we still have the same friends.
Yes.
We have not grown up. We don't want to grow up.
Good point.
And as children, we still have the same friends we had when we were kids a long time ago.
Good point. I feel like I'm more immature now than I was at like 35 because I tried to
Yeah.
fake it then, and now I don't care.
I have a whole goal that my grandkids will go, yeah, the favorite thing that granddad used to say or grandpa used to say was, don't tell your mom and dad.
Yeah.
Right. I want to be that kind of grandparent. We're like, hey, we're going to go do this. We're going to go do that.
Yeah.
Should we answer Rhett's calling? Should we answer? Rhett always calls when we
I told you.
I know. We should call.
Yeah.
Hey, Rhett, welcome to the show. Troy's sitting in as a guest, and it's been so long since you've called in to talk to Troy.
Well,
and I.
we have not heard from you on the show, and I said Rhett used to call in all the time
yes.
on the radio show.
All the
On
time.
the radio show, and obviously you called to tell me happy birthday.
Yes, it's Troy's birthday. Wish him happy birthday.
Troy. Oh my God, I knew there was something I forgot.
Tell him the card's in the mail.
Yeah, the card's in the mail.
Yeah, the pony,
I don't know what address it is or whatever, but yeah, it's on the way.
Yes.
the Pony Express going through Houston.
You know, as many times as you've called into the show, you might as well just sit in. You're going to be here for a couple of weeks. You might as well sit in one day.
Oh man, now I can really get myself in trouble.
Yes, you can.
Exactly. That's
Listen,
what we're
nobody
here for.
in Houston watches at that hour. They usually watch it a little later. You'll be fine.
Yeah, because we go through a lot of editing.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are international.
Yeah. Yes.
People have listened to us all over the world.
Probably how many languages have you guys translated into?
Two. Southern and English.
Yeah.
Those are the two languages that we're translated into. Yes.
And whatever they speak in Minnesota.
Yes. Yes. So anyway, we'll see you on the show.
All right.
But
See you later.
Rhett, I do speak fluent Australian. Just
Yeah, my daughter does too. Yeah. Get on it.
Rhett, good talking to you, man.
See you, man.
You better have her on the show. She'd be entertaining.
Let's go.
Talk Australian.
There you go.
Anyways,
See ya.
Bye.
He was always good for that call, right?
Yeah.
We'd always go to the
Yeah.
showtime, and he'd always be good. You could always count on a call from Rhett.
I mentioned it last Thursday.
Yes.
About Rhett always calling in.
always calls in.
So I mean,
Well, I'm going to tell you why he's calling in.
Mhm.
So he
he's
is going
coming in for a couple weeks, huh?
He's going to be here for a little while. He wants to stay at mom and dad's house for a couple of days,
Okay.
nights with the kids and everything, which I think is great. His family. And one of the AC units had been broken.
Oh gosh.
And so he's like, hey, a couple of weeks ago, let's get the AC fixed. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll work on it.
Mhm.
So I got the AC fixed. And It was fixed last Friday, and I didn't bother to tell anybody because it was a really busy weekend, and I was having a lot of fun with my family, and it was just busy, right? There was surf all day Saturday. It was wonderful. So he texted me last night. Did the AC get fixed? And 2 seconds later, Darcy's phone dings, and it's his wife, Katie.
Did the AC get?
Did the AC?
AC's important.
And it had been a long day yesterday. It took me like 40 minutes to download the day to Darcy when we were doing our recap at dinner, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just call him tomorrow, right? So this morning I texted him. I said, Mom never turned the AC on until August.
Yeah.
Don't be a wimp.
Wuss.
Don't be a wimp.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're both from Florida. They can handle it.
Yes.
So, no. So first thing this morning, 6:00 this morning, Rebecca comes in. She just let the dog out, and in the kitchen, there's a drip coming right through where the light fixture is in the kitchen. My handler is above that.
Yes.
And it did rain last night. And I was like, well, it didn't rain enough for this. And I got a metal roof, so the chances of being the metal roof is very slim. I was like, it's got to be the handler. I was like, I'll call it like 7:45. And the guys, I got to give a shout out to Dual. I know Powell's one of our
Powell's a great sponsor.
They're a wonderful sponsor, but the guys from Dual just worked on something for me like last week. And I was like, hey, you got anybody in the neighborhood? Right there.
Yeah.
5 minutes. We're there and took care of it for me.
Pete Melfi is watching, somewhere scratching what is left of the hair on his head, saying, I never thought these guys would make it this long.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't give him 3 shows, much less this many years.
Well, I think Pete actually fell asleep during the first show. He was our producer.
To be honest, I think I did too.
Yeah. I was hyped up because I had my list.
And the sad thing was, I was the one talking when I fell asleep.
Yeah.
That's the bad thing.
I had my list.
I was like, holy cow.
I would have fallen asleep, but I don't sleep well. So
I know. Hey, I do have to give you a Troy trivia review.
Okay.
Brand new segment on the show, Clay. Troy trivia review.
All right.
So you have one of your very happy trivia contestants that goes all the time, loves the show because you do it.
Okay.
So I asked her, I said, can you give me a rating for Troy last night? How did he do at Gypsy Cab Trivia?
Okay.
See, this is a shameless plug for you while maybe making fun of you or not.
Yes. Yeah. So I thought I did okay.
She gave you a 7.5, maybe an 8.
Oh,
said you weren't on your game.
That's not as funny as I normally am.
Well, and she mentioned that. She said the week before he was a 10.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 the week before. He was really funny. He was on his game. And then I happened to mention that was your birthday today.
Oh.
And she said, well, he was probably just preoccupied with his birthday. And I was thinking about stuff.
Well, it was extremely warm in there last night. So everyone was a little on edge. So I was cautious in who I made fun of. So
were you having a hot flash? Were you having a collective hot flash last night?
It was just, one of those hot days, and it's hard to catch up when the restaurant was full
Powell
of people.
Heating and Air Conditioning, one of the best sponsors ever. Had you called them, they would have come out and fixed it for you during the show.
Frank, give him a call.
Yes, Frank needs to give him a call.
Yeah. So no, it was like 81, 82 degrees in there, and it was people were great. It was a good night. Everyone was in a good mood. And we had a moo off at the end.
A moo off.
Yeah. So in a moo off, you have to stand back to back.
Sounds like people wearing muumuus to do a race on Davies Peloton class.
No, you stand back to back, and you moo as long as you can on one breath.
Okay.
And if you go, that means you're out.
You're out.
Okay. And we had a moo off. It was a quality moo off. It was a tough battle, but the moo off was successful. Rubber Duck, I think.
Maybe she just didn't like the moo off.
Yeah.
Was it a tie and you had to get?
Well, we do dance offs, and sometimes the dance offs are hilarious. Clay has participated in a dance off. Clay's a better dancer than you would think.
Everybo's a better dancer than I think.
Oh, you are the worst dancer of anyone I've ever.
Know.
Like I go to concerts with you, and you go to clap your hands, and I'm like, no. You're not even close to the beat.
You're distracting the band.
Yeah,
Please stop.
You're not even close to the beat. So, you need like a Geiger counter to find the beat.
I don't think I could do it then either. I honestly don't think I could.
Yeah, but that is one of the most fun at the turning on the lights party is when I see you there, and when you actually get on the dance floor, I was like, he's at least 4.
Actually, I'm at less now because Darcy's like, look, I really like to dance. We don't have a whole lot of time left to dance in our
Yeah,
life,
there
so
you
you
go.
just have to come out there and dance with me.
I-
And then I usually realize if you or Tim O'Neill is dancing, no one's watching me,
Yeah.
so I'm fine. I'm good.
It's good love guilt that gets you every
Yes.
time. So
Every time, like this is awesome.
Yeah.
I can be out there, and most of them are looking at Darcy anyway. I know that.
Oh,
I'm looking at Darcy. I have no idea what I'm doing
Yeah.
out there.
no. You sir are the worst. You're Elaine from Seinfeld.
Excellent dancer.
Fred Astaire.
If
compared
I
to
could just one day become as good as Elaine,
Yeah.
my
Fred-
life would be complete.
Fred Astaire compared to you.
Be complete. Clay, how was your day, man?
Oh, it was pretty good. I'm just
You
kinda
know,
getting up right
That's the problem with Clay.
What time did you wake up?
He's
Clay?
so long-winded.
now. Today I actually woke up at 10, which is early for me.
Okay. All right.
I haven't
All right.
been
Was
waking
it?
up. I haven't been waking up before noon. So
It was the AM. So
10
you got-
a.m. because I got spam called and text. I forgot to put on do not disturb. So
That's the worst. When you're in a good sleep and somebody calls you and it's not anybody you want to talk
it's a
to.
telemarketer.
Oh, that's the worst.
They've been calling me before noon, and it's rough.
Yeah.
All right. And here's the move that Mike Davis does every Monday.
Oh,
All right. We turn in our drinks every Monday.
yeah.
Mark, Mike, and myself. Mike knows I get up at 6:30. What time does Mike send that text every Monday morning? 6:25 a.m. Right before the alarm goes off. There's no worse time to wait. I'd rather you do it at 6 than 6:25.
Clay, do you know the restraint it takes me not to send it at 5:30?
I
Do you
think
know
I'd be
the
better with
restraint
that.
that it does?
I think I'd be better with that because I can go back to sleep.
Yeah.
But at like 6:25, it's like, okay, I'm up.
What really bothers him
When
is
does your
Mark.
alarm go?
Yeah.
Mark is waiting for me to text, so then he texts right behind. So it's not just one beep.
Yeah.
It's me and then Mark.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
group chat.
And
Yes.
I'm sick. Yeah, it's a group chat, and I'm 6:30, and I am by far the last person to wake up on the group chat, and I wake up every morning at 6:30, which
Yeah.
is early for most people. So
Well, if you want to wake up at lunchtime, you go right ahead.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
Clay's waking up at dinner for me, and I don't judge Clay for
you
that.
go to bed at 8:40.
Sometimes I stay up that late. Yes,
Yeah.
sometimes. Not often, but sometimes. Sometimes. No, Clay, you still hitting the gym?
No, I need to
Is the gym hitting you?
with a bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I've been playing Elden Ring. It came out with their new expansion, so that's why I'm staying up too late now and not going to the gym.
What is Elden Ring?
It's a,
As an old man who knows nothing.
It's a video game.
Okay.
A very popular video game that just came out with a new expansion. Do you know what that is? It's like a add-on to the
Okay.
game.
That's
Makes
what's
it game.
happening to my belt these days.
Yeah, me too. Now that I'm not going to the gym, but
Yeah, I'm almost 170.
What?
I'm
Get
167.
out of here.
I'm 167. My ideal weight is 150. I'm 167.
You know, you couldn't classify for any of the weight classes as a wrestler in high school. You probably had to eat just to get into the lowest classification, and now you're about to max out at the top.
I know my sophomore year, I wrestled at 121. I was trying, and I was eating everything I could. I was winning at 121, but there was a senior that was at 121, and it was probably easier for me to lose weight. They asked me to lose weight. I was like, no, I'm not going anywhere as a wrestler.
Yeah.
I was like, I still have a chance to grow. And I didn't know what I didn't know.
What you
I
didn't
never
know,
grew.
now I know.
But I had a fun college career with
Yes.
baseball. So
All kinds of news.
okay.
Gonna talk about some news, some of it local, some of it non-local.
Well, I want to ask it. Did you see where Kevin Costner announced he's not coming back at Yellowstone?
There's a part of me that like cares about that, and then there's a part of me that's like, I just want to see how the story ends. I really don't care who they plug in for Costner,
Mhm.
and I'm kind of pissed at Costner because his career was good and he had a great career. But man, you want to talk about pumping some steroid actor juice into your career and your mojo? Yellowstone did that for him. And Yellowstone was a lot of bucks for him, and it was a lot of notoriety for him. And then he kind of looked at the fans and said, yeah, I'm mad about Taylor Sheridan. I don't like the extra half season. I don't like this and I don't like that. And
Yeah.
I got my own project and I'm out.
Mhm.
And so for me, it's kind of like I'm not happy about that. I think Josh Lucas is supposed to be in.
Taylor and Taylor and Kevin evidently just couldn't come to terms with it, and he said, "I'd gladly come back if they let me work more than just at this one," because the way they broke up Yellowstone, it ticked him off, and he evidently him and Taylor got into it a little bit and said, neither one of them said, "I need either one of them."
Years ago, when
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Sheridan.
Sheridan.
Oh.
There is other people named Taylor in the world.
He's
Oh,
he's the writer. He's one of the actors in Yellowstone, but he's also wrote several other stuff.
Tulsa King.
yeah.
What is the mayor of something town?
1923.
1923. Bass Reeves.
Yeah.
1883.
Yeah, no,
1888.
He's an excellent writer, but also
1883.
Yellowstone's what put him on the map too.
Yes.
So they actually benefited from each other.
But he didn't. Taylor Sheridan did not want Kevin Costner.
Mhm.
A bunch of people said they'd read the script, they saw the script, they're like, "This is the guy. You need Kevin Costner. You need Kevin Costner." And he didn't want Kevin Costner. And there, here at the end of it, he's like, I had Kevin. I think the other actors on the show too are getting really screwed over by him not working. I mean, look, I'm not a big famous guy. I'm just me. I'm just friends with Troy. That's my claim, right? So I would have gone back. I'd have found a way to work because all the other actors need that bump too. And everyone else that's working, and I'd have been like, look, if I got to fly back and forth between places, let's figure this thing out and let's get it done. But that's me. Because I would have felt like the fans and the other actors in it deserved it.
The way I understood it in the conversation, and I heard he was on The View, which is frightening. The way I understood it was that Taylor didn't want him working on other stuff. And I don't understand how that can be with a big star like Kevin Costner, how that's even possible.
And I'm going to tell you, because it's Hollywood and there's a bunch of garbage that's written about it all the time, which I don't read. And I encourage you not to as well, because it's just garbage. You'll never know the truth.
Yeah.
We weren't in the room, so so I don't waste any time with it.
His premiere of Horizon,
Friday,
the new movie.
Yes. 2 days from now.
It actually the actual premiere, the hidden premiere, happened this past weekend in LA.
How was that? You're a big influential media.
Judd, my friend Judd went out there.
Oh, my friend, I knew you. That's where we were going. I have a friend who went to the influential premiere.
They both said it was. I mean, Rolly and Judd both went out there, and they said that was pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, he could do good stuff. I mean, and
Hatfield's and McCoy's was great.
I never saw that one.
Oh, you might want to.
Was it a series or was it just
a series?
Okay.
That was how he won his Emmy.
Okay.
So,
how long ago was that?
Probably 10 years ago. Not that long ago.
Okay, so pre-Troy Beard. Got it.
Yeah. No, that was Fu Manchu Troy.
Fu Manchu Troy. I remember Fu Manchu.
Fu Manchu Troy. So no, but that was really, really good. So I wonder if he's eligible. How many EGOTs are out there? I don't. Him winning a Grammy would be a little bit of a.
What
stretch.
is an EGOT?
An EGOT means.
Did you know, Clay? Do you know what an EGOT is?
Yeah, it's when you win all of them, right?
You win an Emmy, a Grammy,
an
Oscar, and a Tony.
Okay.
So there's, I think the most recent EGOT was Elton John.
Okay.
Elton John finally got his Emmy or whatever.
The things I learned from you after
EGOT.
You
didn't know what an EGOT was. I thought you would know what an EGOT was.
Not only did I not know, this will make Davey shriek somewhere. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean,
have you ever been
it's not like I care.
Have you ever been to a play before?
Yes, I actually have. I saw Brooke Shields in, oh gosh, darn it.
Blue Lagoon?
No, I wasn't allowed to go see that. My mom wouldn't let me go. No, she was in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
She was in Chicago, in New York, on Broadway. It was really good. Yeah, I mean, there's things I've been to. It's just, I did think the Blue Man Group the night before. I didn't know how that one was going to end, and I was really enthralled.
Yeah, with a lot of toilet paper.
Oh, it was awesome. There's stuff everywhere at the end.
I've seen Blue Man Group 3 times, and I loved every time. And there was different shows every time.
I think I saw Blue Man Group in Boston.
Yeah.
I did not see them in New York.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was super fun.
I saw him in Vegas, Orlando, and New York.
Somebody, if you're near Davey, check to make sure he's alive. Somebody needs to do a wellness check on Davey after that last comment. Yesterday, we made it Italian Film Day.
Okay.
So we could celebrate a fistful of dollars.
Okay.
Not any other Italian film.
Spaghetti.
Not any other Italian film.
Spaghetti. Did you have spaghetti?
We could have had spaghetti yesterday.
You should have had spaghetti.
We should have had spaghetti for Davey. So yes, but no, it wasn't. But Horizon should be really. I'm looking forward to it. Hollywood's taken a beating this year.
Mhm.
This is a bad year for Hollywood. So you got Horizon coming out. You got Deadpool coming out.
Yeah, Deadpool
And Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I might go see. I might
What-
actually go to the movie.
I'm gonna wait for a few reviews
Okay.
to see if Disney has also killed Deadpool and Wolverine because they've killed so many characters. They killed Han Solo. They killed off the entire Star Wars franchise. They killed Indiana Jones.
Mhm.
They're in the process of killing Marvel. So I'm kind of like, do I really want to watch the death of one more character that Disney's responsible for?
Are you watching Acolyte?
I've not seen any of it.
Okay. It's all right.
I just, there's a lot of stuff in it that that to me doesn't fit Star Wars.
Mhm.
And it's like, just leave Star Wars alone, right?
Mhm.
Why are you making Star Wars into what today is? I mean,
Mhm.
when they made it in the 70s and 80s,
Mhm.
it didn't mirror the 70s and 80s. It was a sci-fi show. Just leave it alone.
What about probably one of the greatest TV shows of all time? Are you caught up on The Boys?
Okay, so I watched season 1, and I think I got you and Pete into The Boys.
You got me and Pete into The Boys.
I think I
yeah.
got you. And
Yeah.
then season 2, I began to lose a little bit of interest in The
Mhm.
Boys. I hung on to the end, and then I was like, I don't know. So then season 3 started,
Mhm.
and it got really weird. And you and Pete and I had a conversation. I just kind of left season 3.
It's a lot. It's
I've-
a lot of blood and guts now.
They paused after season 2, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think they did. So
Whenever they paused, I stopped watching. I need to get back.
yeah,
into it.
I think it was between 2 and 3. But man, are you caught up on The Boys?
No,
Not at all, huh?
I watched just like Mike the first. I was addicted at first. I binge watched the whole entire thing, and then they stopped making them,
Mhm.
and then I stopped.
I have watched season 4. I decided I would not go back and try to catch up on season 3. I'd just figure it out because it was just way too much
Mhm.
blood and guts and stupid stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm not going there. And then so there was a headline. I did not read the article because I don't read those about the latest episode has something to do with Homelander's backstory.
Mhm.
And like you have a different opinion of Homelander after you see this episode. I'm like, no, I pretty much think he's a jerk.
No,
And I really don't care what happened
Oh,
to him. He's
season-
still a jerk.
season 4, he's really. I mean, I can tell you, whatever could have been censored, they just said screw you and just
Roll with it.
Oh man, it's so dark and evil.
Oh, it
at
is.
certain times.
And that's why I quit watching in 3. It
Yeah.
just got to be
It got-
really,
it
really.
got,
yeah.
actually got worse.
Yeah.
It's gotten worse.
There was an animated series, Invincible,
Okay.
that was on Amazon as well. And the boys were telling me, oh, you got to watch this. You got to watch this. And I watched 2 episodes of it. And I was like, no, I don't have to watch this. I came in and I said, you guys understand that that's just way too dark. And they're like, oh yeah, that is. I'm like, no, I'm not watching that.
So what do you think's the last really good show that Disney or Marvel put out as far as a series?
Davey Hartzell gets Nerd of the Week award.
Mhm.
Homelander is the new character in Mortal Kombat 1, just released.
He's a big Mortal Kombat guy.
I know.
Not just talking about his size. I mean, but
Davey.
he loves Mortal Kombat.
I did not know that about Davey. Learn something new every day. No, I'll watch a few more episodes and see. Darcy and I are watching The Night Agent, which is on Netflix, which I think is like a year old. Maybe it's been around. There's just nothing on. There's literally nothing to watch. There is nothing to watch right now.
Yeah, and someone said something about Bridgerton, and I'm trying. I'm like episode 3 or something. Like I'm really trying.
Yeah.
But it's I don't think I'm making it to 4.
There's some, and I'm a nerd. The Star Trek stuff I like.
Mhm.
I kind of got through the Discovery, the end of it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but
I've been with you this long. I'll just stick it out. Walking Dead. I was the same way. I've been with you this long.
Mhm.
I'll just stick it out.
Well,
it was one of those
we had to,
relationships
pretty much.
I couldn't leave for the kids, right? I had to stay,
yeah.
and I just couldn't leave for the kids. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to stick this out.
Yeah, Walking Dead, you had to kind of stick out, and you know how I am. I mean, I'm one of those. Okay, I'm just gonna. I just killed this day, so I might as well just keep it going. So I mean, the last real good Disney or was Mandalorian to me. The other ones have never quite got there. And I've given pretty much every single one of them a chance.
Well, I thought that Boba Fett was horrible.
Yeah.
As my son Ethan put it, it's a story about a guy who wants to be a crime lord, becomes a crime lord, and then doesn't do crime.
Yeah.
He opens a monastery instead.
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of Boba Fett was always like the cool,
Yeah.
like the one. But like when they did this, now you're like, show me Jar Jar Binks.
Seriously. No, there's that. I thought The Mandalorian was good. There are bits and pieces of it that I thought were kind of wonky. But some of the guest stars in it were pretty good. I enjoyed the Ahsoka one, but Ahsoka Tano is one of my most favorite characters of kind of the off Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
I loved her in Clone Wars, and then she was in Rebels, and she's just one of my favorite characters.
I don't watch those. I mean, I only knew her from the series.
Yep.
So I think you'll like Acolyte. I think because there's strong female characters in there that are kind of badasses.
Okay.
So I think you're
Is Carrie Moss in that one?
I don't know anybody's name.
I thought Carrie Moss or somebody from The Matrix was in that.
Yeah, you like even with people here in town, you have to describe like what they do and what color hair they have.
Yeah.
Oh, I know them. Yeah. Oh, you know Susan. Yeah, I've known Susan for 40 years, but you didn't describe her.
You didn't
right.
describe her correctly.
Oh, that's Susan.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Did not describe her. News in the world take. So St. Augustine news, the bridge replacement. There was a story today in the Jacksonville Business Journal. Has been moved off for an entire year, which just means pain and suffering for us. So the San Sebastian Bridge on King Street between the winery and US 1 is going to be replaced. It's going to take 14 months to replace it, but they have postponed it 1 year. I kind of was like, let's just get this thing over with.
okay, I thought it was gonna be. Well, I guess that would be almost a year because it was supposed to start.
May.
It
Yep.
was supposed to start. So I heard it was going to be after Night of Lights.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost a year. Yeah.
Yes. And how much confidence do you have when the spokesperson for DOT, Michael Moeller, said the work is estimated to take 11 to 14 months, but he indicated that the 14-month scenario was much more likely. Does anybody see 16 months? Do I hear 18? Do I hear blah, 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 do I hear 20? Do I hear 21?
I think 24 is a more realistic because you know what happened on US 1, that little bridge near Marina Munch.
Yes.
So
It sunk.
yeah, it
It's
sunk.
settled.
So they had to redesign all over again.
Yeah.
And that's been under construction for 2 years now.
Well, it's been under redesign for a while.
Yeah.
And then they're going to take it back to doing all the other work. So, yes. City of Jacksonville approved a $1.4 billion stadium of the future.
Yes.
Does that mean we're going to have a team of the future too at the Jaguars?
That's what we hear every year.
We can only hope.
That's what we hear every year. Did you see the design of the stadium?
Well, I saw what the concept is.
The aerial design.
I don't think it's going to be anything like that.
Okay,
but
because it
that's-
looks like lady body parts that are in the no touch zone.
Clay, do you have comments on this?
Well, that's the reason I said it like that for Clay.
I understand.
My work son's here. I don't want to.
Sorry, I zoned out.
Yeah. Good. I told him
Wait,
earmuffs.
for the record, you zone out when I was
The stadium in Jacksonville.
Oh yeah. Well, the original design.
Yeah.
yes.
Someone would say butterfly.
There was a episode a long time ago on LA Law.
Okay.
Do you remember what butterfly was the second word? There was another one in front of it. Can you remember it?
I don't remember it.
One of our listeners will throw it out there.
Okay.
Stuart apparently was really good at it.
Yeah.
So if somebody can remember the LA Law episode where butterfly was part of the two words.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll give you a tile. Somewhere there's
Give you a
still a tile.
Butterfly knife.
No, that wasn't it. No, that wasn't it. No, not at all. But anyway, in the negotiations with the city of Jacksonville, there was all kinds of side deals about how many games the Jags could play out of the stadium. Because originally they were going to be out of the stadium for 2 years, and I think now they got it down to 1 year, but the upper deck won't be open for that 1 year. It'll be the lower deck.
Okay.
So it's going to be,
So it'll look like full stadium for a change.
yes. Yes. I'm such a Jags fan that hurt. It's like I got body
It's true,
punched
it's
right
true.
there. I know. No, Bobby, not the butterfly effect. It was you guys. I can't believe you guys don't remember L.A. Law.
Butterfly kisses? I don't know.
Oh my gosh, Sandy. Boy, it's so much fun when we have young people on the show. You're reading. You're trying to read and get
I'm
this.
trying to see what it is.
Yeah. I'll give you guys another minute, and then I'll give you the answer.
Yeah.
But it is interesting how much money it costs to build a stadium.
Mhm.
Well,
Well, you know what construction costs are. I mean, just
and then here's the funny thing: they agreed to
$1 billion
split
is a lot of money.
the city. It's $1 billion stadium, $1.4 billion.
Mhm.
The cost overrun they currently have budgeted at $5 million.
that's it.
That's it.
That's
It's
not- that's
there's
not a
no
contingency.
way that's a contingency.
That's
And-
not a contingency.
And they're going to split the
That's
$5
a
million,
joke.
and then the Jags are responsible for everything over that. So the Jaguars will be paying for the next $10 million after that.
That's a
Because there's
joke.
no way you're going to bring this in at that number.
Oh,
there's no way.
That's not even a contingency. Not even I make a contingency that small.
No, there's no way that gets
Yeah.
done to that
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah,
Um,
don't show that budget to Mark.
So I'm sure to anybody in my office.
His contingency starts at 20%.
All right, you guys know who Snopes is? Snoops,
Yeah,
whatever the heck.
I know what it is.
Yeah, you know what it is, right?
Yeah.
It was called the Venus butter. Listen, Kathy knows.
Okay.
I should have known one of my friends from high school would know what that is.
Yeah.
The Venus butterfly.
All right.
It was
I have a tenant that's calling, so hopefully they're not stuck in the elevator.
Hopefully they're not stuck in the elevator,
Uh-oh.
and hopefully they. Well, if they call you again, you know they probably are.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna text
You're gonna text them and let them know.
and let them know.
Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Breaking news.
So Snoops finally got around to fact checking one of the biggest lies in the last 7 years.
Mhm.
And it was Trump at Charlottesville. So after the Charlottesville stupidity
Mhm.
that went on and the riots and all that kind of, Trump said that there were fine people on both sides, but then condemned the Nazis.
Okay.
Everything was taken out of context to where it was said Trump said there were fine people on both sides, including the Nazis.
Yeah.
Taken completely out of context. Scott Adams went on at length. Other people went on at length, going through the video, playing the entire thing, and showing you the lie. If you were somebody on the left, you believed this lie for this entire amount of time because you didn't do your own research. You didn't go look at it. You didn't see what he said. So now Snopes finally comes along, Snoops, whatever, and says, hey, Trump didn't say that.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming that in the next 8 years, this same organization will come along and tell us that Hunter's laptop was real.
Mm.
I'm going to give them a few more years. It's only been 4. So since they are fact checking,
Well,
we'll let them check.
You know, and you know how frustrated I am with the whole presidential stuff and things like that. I just I don't care about Hunter. I don't care about the crimes against Trump. I want people to do the right thing for the right reasons. If you're gonna, you remember when being a president was like, oh, that would be an honorable job.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that go? Did it go away with Nixon?
I don't know. It went away some point in time.
You know,
In our lifetime, it eroded away.
yeah.
Yes.
What happened to George Washington and Honest Abe? You know, I mean,
Yeah, it ain't those days anymore.
well, I mean, most of the stories about him that we learned in elementary school were probably lies anyway. But we believed him. I want to. I almost
So-
want to have less information about these guys.
So the best president of my lifetime was Reagan,
Okay.
right? I 100% go Reagan.
Yeah.
But you got to go back. I mean, maybe to like Eisenhower.
Yeah.
You got to go back there to find somebody like, okay, I'm really happy with that president.
Yeah. No. I agree with you. And Eisenhower is one of my top 5
Mm-hmm.
presidents out there. I think the most underrated president we've ever had, and he got bashed by the other side saying he was an alcoholic, which wasn't true. He had a tough time in his life where he had a bout with, and that was Grant.
Ulysses S. Grant, yes.
Ulysses S. Grant,
Mhm.
and he doesn't go down as being one of the, but he saved our country as president and saved our country as a general.
2 times.
So I mean,
You stole that from me. That was
Yeah.
my line years ago when
Yeah.
we had a question on Monday's Questions, your best president. And I said Grant.
I
You kind
said
of looked at me
I
crazy.
said Eisenhower.
And then you looked at me and then you're like, oh, that's really good. I'm going to use that later. And you just did.
Yeah, it comes back. At your age, I didn't expect you
I'm
to
not that old that I've forgotten
At
that.
your age, I didn't expect you to remember
Yes,
that.
I remember that. I'm like,
But-
you son of a.
But
There
like,
goes my line right there.
but for like 24 days or something like that, we're the same age.
Yes.
Something along those
Listen.
lines.
You want to hear the dad joke of the week?
I know, but go ahead.
You want to hear the dad? Clay, do you want to hear the dad joke of the week?
No, but go ahead.
See if I can get this right.
Oh,
'Cause I
gosh.
usually mess
You
them up.
are usually horrible at telling
usually
jokes.
So if a jockey wears jockey shorts and a basketball player wears basketball shorts, what kind of underwear does the president wear?
It depends.
Depends.
It
It
depends.
depends.
Nice.
I thought that was pretty good for a dad
That's
joke.
accurate.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Especially with these two.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody I've said that to, regardless of party affiliation, has said, especially with these two. That's exactly what they've said.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, tomorrow's the debate. Are you looking forward to the debate? Are you watching
I'll
the debate?
watch
Do you
it.
care about the debate?
we have bollocks tomorrow night. We're doing it's just Blake and I, and we're doing bollocks on autism. So Blake's going to talk and go into some of his struggles
Yeah.
and where he, his I'll brag about his victories. But after that, we'll go home and we'll prepare. And I'll definitely at least watch the big points of it. But I think I'll probably watch the whole thing. It'll be after your bedtime.
It's past my bedtime.
You're going to
and
need a nap.
I kind of
tomorrow.
just, I mean, I read about this stuff. I'll watch it. I might tape it and watch it the next day or something. I really just don't. It doesn't change how I feel about the two guys running. I know who I'm going to vote for.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know right now there's a group of people that want to replace Joe Biden. So they've already written their articles about how he bombs.
Mhm.
There's a group that wants him to beat Trump no matter what. They've already written their articles. They're just going to pull a quote out and drop it in. And then there's everybody that is a Trump supporter that wants to see Biden. They've already written their articles. The articles are written. The debate's going to happen. They're going to pull a couple of quotes in, put it in, and go, boom, my work is done for the night.
Mhm.
They'll be home from work before I fall asleep.
Well, I mean, yeah. And who do you think it hurts the most? Because I don't see it helping either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think both of them are going to show their flaws and their warts. And
Yeah.
like we already know what most of their warts are. So do you think, I mean, that Trump should win easily if he can get his ego in check?
If he can shut his mouth.
Shut
Shut your bile.
say your point.
That's not gonna happen.
Don't ad lib.
Ah.
Don't say,
Just continue to say this. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago?
yeah.
Just say that. By the way, Davey wants to know, what snacks do you make for the debate? Davey, whatever goes well with a triple.
No, I
Gotta watch that. It's a triple.
No, it's obvious what goes best with this debate. It's mixed nuts.
On ice cream for Joe, in honor of Joe,
Yeah,
with a Diet Coke in honor of Trump.
with an ice cream chaser. Actually, you set the ice cream on the shelf when you put the mixed nuts
Yes.
out because he forgot he put the
He
ice
put it
cream
out.
there, and then you go back and eat the ice cream almost as soup.
Ah,
Yeah. So, but mixed nuts is easily the answer.
that
for
might
the
be.
debate.
That's a really good answer.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I think that's really, really good. No, I think that it's already decided. They've already got it. There was a story out today. Dana Bash, who is one of the moderators, her ex-husband is one of the 51 people who signed the letter saying that the Hunter Biden laptop was disinformation. I just want to see a list of all the people in D.C. in media and who they're married to, working in the government, or on what side.
She's stuck in the elevator.
Is she?
I gotta step away. You two talk real quick. I'll be back.
You can fix the elevator from here?
I got somebody close.
Oh my goodness gracious. You need to get a new building. All right. So Clay, will you watch tomorrow night?
Yes, I will watch, and that's because, it's already decided and everything. But I like to take all the information in I can.
Mm-hmm.
That way, I can see, okay, they're tagging it with this headline or that headline, and be like, okay, so they're obviously didn't watch the debate, or they, are trying to skew it this way, and that happens to both sides.
Yes.
So
but
I like to take the information in and see what was actually said, who said what, who said what, and then I can just kind of be like, gotcha on all these like TikToks and media stuff that I see.
my favorite was Rush Limbaugh would do the montage the next day. So there was a talking point that went around in all of media. And Fox was the only one at that time that didn't have the talking point, but everybody else did. Whatever the catchphrase was, right? Gravitas was one of them. I remember years ago. He just didn't have the gravitas. And everybody on every channel said it. And you're like, man, that's amazing that you guys can do that. You don't see that in right-wing media. One, because there's not enough of it, but you don't see that same catchphrase. But in left-wing media, there will be a catchphrase tomorrow night, and it will be everywhere.
When I worked at the news station previously, it was during the Obama term and then into Trump's term. So I saw the way they fluctuated how they covered stuff, and it was just instead the media was sick of Trump when he was in there, so they were just like they would keep the whole press conference or everything on mute, and they'd have the CNN pulled up with a ticker, and they would just literally copy their ticker headlines and then run that on our show and pull a soundbite from them. They didn't listen to the whole. I was sitting there in the sound booth, like I had the ability to listen to everything in there. So I would listen to the whole thing and compare the headlines. And then, cause I was bored to all hell in there. But yeah, it was always taken out of context. They never, listen to it themselves. They would just take the ticker headline and copy paste. And that's why every single news organization sounded the exact same, because they're all copying CNN.
There was a middle school fight this week between Dan Bongino and Bill O'Reilly over that. That Bongino said, I do all my own research, and O'Reilly doesn't do any of his research. I just watched the clip of Dan Bongino. I haven't watched Bill O'Reilly in years, and I haven't watched Dan Bongino in years either, but it was just really kind of interesting to see that. So,
yeah. It's crazy. I mean, it's 100% true. And I'm not saying that the right-wing outlets or the conservative outlets are, necessarily fair with a lot of their stuff they do. But I don't see that kind of stuff happening. Just the copy paste echo chamber.
Nobody's reporting. Everybody has an opinion, and they're trying to drive you in a certain direction. And I think media has been that way for a long time, right? When you had papers, it was called yellow journalism at the turn of the century in the early 1900s, right? They were trying to drive a cause or get you to do something. I think it's far worse now because media is so pervasive and it's involved in everything. But to get somebody to give you an actual honest analysis of it, to have somebody on the left go, boy, our guy just blew it tonight, is so rare. Or to have somebody on the right say the same thing. We just don't get that. And
if you say that, then you are like excommunicated to the other side.
Yeah, I was going to say that word too. Does that make it a catchphrase?
Excommunicated.
Yes, I was so right there before you said it. I said excommunicated. That's what happens to him in my mind. And I was like, dang it, that's how catchphrases start. We just started one. If it's on tomorrow, we know they were stealing from us.
They might be.
Excommunicated. But yeah, I would just like an honest coverage. I'd like an honest debate. I'd like an honest debate where there's questions asked, right? I mean, I can see the first question for Donald Trump as a convicted felon. Right. And then the last question, as somebody convicted of assault on a woman, how can you represent women? I mean, there's so many ways they can twist these questions. So
what I saw that's interesting is because CNN's doing the debate, right?
Yes.
So the way I saw President Trump in an interview say, the way they asked him, okay, it's CNN, so he's not going to say yes to this. Oh, we want to do a sitting debate, and he's not going to say yes to that or something, any kind of thing that they would throw at him to like make it, okay, this is going to be a one-sided thing. He just said yes to it anyway. So I think that they're going to be a little thrown off by that. But, of course, it is going to be loaded questions. It's always loaded questions. He's going to talk over everyone, and that's just, what he does. Mm-hmm. Like it or not.
But, I don't like it. I wish he would be a little bit more.
I completely agree with you. I don't like that.
I think that's what cost him the last election, is his debate performances. Mm-hmm. He was over the top. Troy Blevins was right. Man, that's hard to say.
Oh, it hurts. But all he had to do was shut up.
my jaw is like going to be sore for a week.
And that's why I'm thinking he's doing great in the polls and in the primaries and stuff like that, because he wasn't really able to talk. He was stifled.
Yeah, he's been silenced this whole last little bit here.
And he's actually, his policies and everything makes sense.
If he would just be nice the way he presents it.
Yeah.
I get, and
Okay.
I loved his policies. I loved what he did. It's easy to do a comparison from now to 4 years ago. It's easy to look at what inflation has ravaged the country. We've had open borders. That's not been good, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have all of these people that have suffered.
I mean, we have wars now. We
Yeah.
didn't have any wars.
No, Trump was first president of my lifetime with no wars.
No wars?
No wars.
What do you mean? We've still been at war in Afghanistan and in.
Well, he did not. He did not
didn't
start.
create any
He did
wars.
Oh,
not
he didn't create one.
He didn't
yeah.
create one. He didn't start
he
one.
inherited, He
He
inherited.
did bomb the hell out of them.
I was going to say, people died under
We
his.
did kill ISIS, but other
We
than
did
that,
kill ISIS. I'm assuming you're okay with that.
No, I'm completely
All
okay
right,
with
okay,
it.
just
I don't
checking.
have a problem with Trump's performance as a president.
Yes.
I just can't stand him as a human being.
Yeah, I mean, welcome to the club. He's a hard
Yeah.
guy to stand.
No.
I never
No.
liked his show. I could never stand him in the past, but I don't think we would be where we are at today.
Yeah,
if it was
he's
a different
the
outcome.
No.
he's the Barry Bonds of politics.
I was going to go Pete Rose.
No, Pete,
Too close to home.
no, Pete's teammates actually liked him.
Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb was not as big a jerk if you get into the real nuts and bolts of Ty
Okay.
Cobb.
Yeah.
The guy who wrote the Ty Cobb biography
Was a jerk.
spent 3 days with him.
Okay.
Ty Cobb like made him mad.
Yeah.
And then he made up all this other stuff. Like,
Okay.
Like they talked about Ty Cobb being this horrible prejudiced
Yeah.
human being from Georgia.
Yep.
He probably had some but he threw out the first pitch at the Negro baseball
Mhm.
leagues. He helped some of them get uniforms. I mean, Ty Cobb like made a bunch of money off baseball, like with Pepsi Cola and one of those. So he was actually a pretty shrewd business guy,
Mm-hmm.
but he wasn't as big a jerk as they say he was.
Yeah.
So he was a competitor. Pete Rose was a competitor, but Barry Bonds didn't get along with his own team.
Yes.
So
I just would like Trump one time to ask Joe Biden. I didn't hear you. Could you repeat that?
Mhm.
Just to see if he could say it twice.
yeah.
Just I didn't hear
Hold
that.
on, I got it.
Hold on. Yeah, just, well, and if Joe mumbles, I'd be like, Joe, could you just repeat that so we all know? I'll give up 30 seconds for Joe to say that coherently. I mean, I'd love to see one of those lines.
Well, here's the funny thing, and I heard the rules. Did
Yeah.
you see the rules?
They're stupid
They're
rules.
turning
yeah.
off the mic.
They're turning off the mics.
Do you
that's-
think that's going to
Good luck
stop?
with that.
No.
Good luck.
Do you
No.
think that's going to stop Trump from talking?
No.
Because I think that's one of the most aggravating things about Trump during these debates.
Mhm.
It's like, dude, shut up.
Shut up.
But he only wants to hear himself talk. I mean, I know somebody like that. But
So do I, and he's celebrating a birthday today.
so, I mean, give them the same opportunity. Or are you afraid of what? Are you afraid of what he's going to say?
I think Biden is going to be coached all the way through the question. I
So
mean,
is Trump.
By the time that Dana Bash and Jake Tapper finish asking the question, all Biden is going to have to say is Trump bad. That's all he's going to have to say, right? They'll come out with, how does it feel to be the first sitting president to have to run against a convicted felon? How does it feel to be running against somebody who's going to court for having documents stolen, even though they cleared you of your document scandal? Right? I mean, they're going to ask this in such a way that all Joe has to say is, yeah, I agree with the question.
Yeah.
He's not going to have to say anything. He's not going to have to form a coherent thought at all.
Yeah. What he said.
Yeah, what?
Well, the question asker.
Yeah. You know the thing.
Yeah.
That one.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Well, that's
you
the
heard
other-
him.
Yes.
Come on, man. You
Come
heard
on, man.
him.
You heard what he said.
Yeah.
First of all, if I'm Trump, the first thing I want is an apology from the media for the laptop. Because Chris Wallace completely shut Trump down over the laptop, Hunter's laptop being fake.
Mhm.
And Joe Biden jumped right in there and Trump, like, it's not fake. It was real.
Mhm.
I mean, if you looked at any of the pictures, they make the boys look like a G-rated
Yeah.
show.
Well, that's the
Stormy,
thing.
Stormy was real too, though. So
They're going to make this out of like, oh, look at this guy trying to talk the whole time. Look at this guy; he's just getting interrupted the whole time. Obviously, he's a better person. But
Yeah.
it's not. I mean,
But
we
no,
don't
I
just
mean,
elect on the quality of.
they're both
person's character.
84 years old.
They're that young? Yeah. They were in their 90s.
I mean, I think if Kennedy was in this debate, they'd have a tough time.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
If
it's not.
Kennedy was in this debate, it would give Joe cover because it takes 50% of the time. Wait, now Joe's at 30%, right? So it
Yeah.
takes 17% away from the time that Joe has to answer a question. Now, I will say two people going at Joe Biden because he's the president is probably a bit more than he can handle. He hasn't had to handle anything tough
Well, he's
since
got
the
all the
announcement.
answers already probably scripted out.
Oh, I guarantee.
And if they put Joe in the middle, it really confusing.
Yes.
Because if he's on one end or the other, he only has to look in one direction.
Yeah.
He seems to have a problem when
Refocusing?
when he has to turn.
Facing the
And
right
he-
way.
and that's I'm not joking. I mean that's
I know.
you know
But the problem is if they gave Joe the questions, and I think Joe has the questions. I don't think there's any doubt that somebody at CNN has gotten Joe's campaign the questions because it's an existential threat if they don't. So they've got it, is that he can over prepare for those, right? And then get the wrong question. You know, if they ask him out of order or they make a mistake in the order supposed to ask and he can't remember where he's supposed to be next. So
Well, that's why Trump's going to keep talking to kind of derail him, I bet. He's probably being instructed to do that.
all right. I have one question that I mean because we only got like 5 minutes.
yeah, fire
All right.
away.
The Suez Canal. It took Biden almost 3 years to almost become reactive of what's happening in the Suez Canal and
With the Houthis.
the Houthis,
The Houthis.
and everybody has to go around. the
No
Cape.
one's using the
the
Suez
Cape.
Canal right now.
It's now up because he has made some military strides in it. It's up to 20%,
Traffic is down 78%.
but it's up 20% since it now has military forces in the Suez Canal. It's our biggest military response that we've had in his 4 years, but he didn't do anything about it until election time.
He still
Do you-
hasn't. He still hasn't anything about it because he also declassified, took the Houthis off of the terrorist list, the terrorist watch list.
Well,
I mean, and then right after that, they're like, "Hey, thanks, Joe. Start launching missiles, boys."
yeah, I can tell you this: that the Navy in the Suez is doing some stuff about it right now. They're knocking some stuff out, but it took election time for him to actually take
It's-
some action there.
Which is what's wrong with politics for
Yeah.
the most part. And Joe is a lifelong politician, right? Yeah, and that would be the other line Trump could say is you're blaming me for things I was in office for 4 years. You've been in office for over 50.
Yeah.
You didn't fix much while you were there because it's worse now than it's ever been.
Well, and the Houthis did start getting their power under Trump, but Trump was at the end of Trump's thing. He was dealing with the C word. I don't think we're allowed to say it on the network. So, I mean, hands were full there, but the Houthis did start there, but it was there the entire time for Biden. He did nothing.
No.
He did nothing. And then when gas prices, people were wondering why gas prices went absolutely crazy. Look up the Houthis in the Suez Canal, and you're going to be shocked of how much they have destroyed, taken, or diverted, which creates. I mean, that's why everything's costing so freaking much.
Well, it's that, and it's that energy cost, right? I've said this over. People say, well, how do you get inflation down? First thing you do is you reduce energy costs because that reduces production and transportation costs. That's the very first thing you do. But the Biden administration cannot lower gas prices or put more gas in supply because they're so married to this green ideology that fossil fuels are bad for the planet. And because of that, they'd much rather see Americans suffer than admit that, this existential fight against climate change is not the greatest of our generation. There's other things we should be worried about.
Yeah.
And
the lithium batteries are not good.
Now, as Scott Adams said, humans are really good at avoiding slow-moving disasters. Climate change is a slow-moving disaster. Volcanoes and earthquakes and tsunamis are fast-moving disasters. We don't fare as well against those as human beings.
Yes.
So I thought it was a great.
Well, we ignore those slow moving things.
Well, we ignore them until they really catch up to us.
I mean, the guy in Bombay, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's like that alarm that goes off and you just won't get up.
Yeah.
It's a slow-moving
snooze.
disaster. It's a snooze button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hit the snooze.
What time would you like your wake-up text tomorrow morning?
Yeah, let's make it 6:31.
6:31 tomorrow morning. You're a day older. You probably aren't going to be able to sleep tonight anyway.
Yeah. So I have to tell you, the phone call where I had to step away. This young lady has broken the record. It's the first person to be stuck in the elevator twice in the same day.
Really?
Yeah. I feel horrible for her, but congratulations. And she just moved into the building like 3 months
Do
ago.
they get a rent discount when they get stuck in the elevator?
Shh. You're the worst landlord ever.
I am such a bad friend.
Yeah, no, but and she's super sweet young lady. We got somebody getting her out right now, but I told her she's broken a record. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
So
Tell her to walk the stairs down.
It's got to be user error.
oh man,
I don't know. I think it's the elevator.
No, it's definitely the elevator. But I had the elevator company there. We actually tagged out, like I was getting people out all day long, and because you have to reset the elevator, and
Turn it off and turn it on.
but we're redoing the elevators right now, and it's like the worst possible time because we're down to one elevator, and that's the only one that's actually working.
I don't
So-
think it's working.
Yeah, it's not working right
I
now.
don't think your definition of working and her definition of working would be the same.
So tomorrow might be a rough day for me.
I think you should just sit down to the lockout, tag out section and just wait all day for the phone call.
Tomorrow might be a rough
Is
day.
your phone number in the elevator?
I need to do that. Most everybody in the building has my number.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, and that's why I was like, oh, she's calling it this time. That's not good.
No, it isn't good.
So,
Kenny wants to have a ghost hunting party.
okay. Lighthouse is the best place for those ghosts.
Lighthouse is a good place.
Yeah.
Did
My house is pretty.
I just shuddered thinking about the episode where the ghost came down the stairs.
Yeah. So.
Did you ever see that episode, Clay?
Of what?
They did like ghost hunters or something at the lighthouse.
at the lighthouse? Yeah.
No.
And you need to go back and Google it.
I think it's the most haunted place in town, and Catalina's Gym's right behind it.
It was creepy. I'm not a guy that like buys into all that stuff, but I watched that episode and I thought, okay, yep, there's something there.
Catalina's Gym's right up there with it.
Mhm.
It was on that original Cuba line, and I think there was a lot of stuff that happened. It's one of the creepiest places.
It's okay because it won't affect your pension from the county. But were you drinking a lot at the Catalinas?
Not at the Catalina's.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I didn't drink in Catalina's.
In Catalinas,
No.
okay, all right. Not before you locked up.
No. Immediately after.
Immediately after. Okay.
But you
Jeff's
remember,
place
you
was
remember
probably where you went.
exactly. You turn
Jeff's
off the lights,
place.
and my office was across the way, and that was
Yeah.
the longest walk in the dark you wanted to take.
All right, we will be back tomorrow night with trivia. You're going to be here. Blake's going to be
Yep.
here. Clay will be serving the last of his nights of
His sentence.
detention. You
His
still got to
penance.
tell us. Come up with a good story of something you did tomorrow to deserve
His
detention.
penance.
Okay.
Just we don't care.
Man,
You've watched us long enough, Clay. We make this stuff up.
Yeah,
You'll be fine.
yeah, and then we'll elaborate on it.
Yes, we will. We'll make it even better once you start telling the story.
All right.
Okay.
He's not buying it.
Yeah, I got to go to a family dinner.
All right. Congratulations. Happy birthday. Thanks for sitting in
Thanks.
late. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 9:04 now in the morning.
Yep. Bye bye.
Bye.